Clerk Segrist could please call the roll.
Trustee Anthony. Trustee Foster.
Good evening.
Trustee Graham-Hudek. The record reflect the clerk Segrist is here. Treasurer Slavens.
Good evening.
Trustee Snyderman is absent. And Supervisor Williams.
Hello. Call for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Those in favor of the motion as presented, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have one set of minutes that we need to approve for August 28, 2018. Call for a motion to approve the minutes of August 28, 2018.
So moved.
Those in favor of the motion as presented, please state aye.
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 Motion carries. Citizens' non-agenda item comments, public comment. Now would be the time for any public comment. Mr. Miller, please.
George Miller. First of all, I'd like to address the issue on Natkin Transit. They were supposed to pick up over at the house, at the address of mine, at 9:30. They drove by at 9:04 and never stopped. Like I asked, the lady makes the brag of global positioning. If it was global positioning, I've dealt with trucks, tractor-trailer trucks. If they stop for a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, it's on tape. Show me the global positioning where the guy stopped. Secondly, he called. I returned the call within 2 minutes. I can show you on the cell phone. I know you really don't care about it, but I can show you. I've been to Sprint. 2 minutes when he called the house, within 2 minutes I returned the phone call. Now, let's go forward here to the ordinance. I'd like to know why some of the ordinance things for years, things haven't been taken care of. Lots Road and Ford Road area. 25, 30 years. Problems there on that corner, approximately. I'd like to know why some of the fences are leaning and they're not taken care of. You know, when I go here and go there through the township and you see this, and you go by it and you write it down or something, and guess what? You go back 2 or 3 months later and it's still there, and even years later. That's before even your ordinance officer got on board. It dates back to Mrs. Bennett a year or two ago when she was still here, and it's still not fixed, some of it. I'd like to know what the problem is. You guys put an ordinance guy on, an extra one, but evidently there's something wrong that he's not picking up on this stuff. Maybe you can address that issue. Now, the next issue is a ditch that I've complained about, and it keeps flooding on Haggerty Road in between Cherry Hill and Palmer on the east side there. And also on Sheldon Road by in between Bentley School and Palmer Road. You had a water main that broke there, and you buried the pipe at the end of the ditch. I'll let it go at that for tonight.
Thank you, George. Call for a motion to pay the bills. Treasurer Slavens.
Mr. Supervisor, I make a motion that we pay the bills. Support.
Those in favor of paying the bills as presented, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, first item on the agenda this evening is a public hearing. So let's see, previous minutes, an old school. There we go, yep. So we're going to have a motion to, call for a motion to go open a public hearing on the millage rates for December 1st, 2018 tax levy.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to open the public hearing on the millage rates for the December 1st, 2018 tax levy at 7:04 p.m.
Good. Those in favor of the motion as presented, please state aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're now in public hearing, open public hearing. In terms of a summary, the Township Board is required to hold a public hearing on proposed December 1st, 2018 millage rates. The 2018 millage rates must be certified to Wayne County by October 1st, 2018. On August 7th, 2018, the voters approved a ballot language authorizing the Township to levy 1.45 mills for the purpose of paying the cost of maintaining, improving, rehabilitating, and reconstructing state and county roads within the Township. This levy is included on the tax rate request form to be levied on December 1st, 2018. The millage rate requested are required to balance the fiscal year 2019 budget. The combined millage rates of 12.35 for the December 1st, 2018 levy would be an increase of 1.45 mills, representing the roads millage approved by the voters above the millage total of 10.9 mills that was levied on December 1st, 2017. Are there any board questions, comments, I should maybe first ask, is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Seeing none, any board comments, questions for Director Trumbull, who's joined us this evening? Okay, seeing none. Let's see. Call for a motion to close the public hearing.
Support.
In favor of closing the public hearing, state aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we've got a final motion here. Clerk Segrist, if you could.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that the millage rates to be levied by Canton Township on December 1st, 2018 be set as follows. Charter mills for the general fund at 1.3660. Fire protection special assessment to be set at 3.8580. Police protection special assessment to be set at 5.6760. Roads assessment to be set at 1.450 for a total amount of 12.3500 mills.
Support.
Those in favor of the motion as read, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have one item in our consent calendar. If Clerk Segrist could take us through that, one motion.
We went right to the general, correct?
Did we?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Well, no, we've got the consent calendar item.
Oh.
Not on yours?
Yeah.
On my hard copy, but not on the,
Approving, okay, consent calendar, request to increase, yes, police uniforms. If you don't have a copy
This
of
has
it
been
there,
That was not on the agenda that,
was that added?
I don't believe so. Let's see, I pulled this down from the final packet this morning, or this afternoon, I should say.
let's see here.
C1, no, that was last meeting. Does anybody online that?
So were we Josh, were we planning on doing the police uniforms today? That was removed? Okay, so that
Thank
was
you.
removed, so
So-
we are just at the general.
That's me operating off of printed too early. Moving to the corrected one here. Perfect. We have one item in the general calendar, which is item G1. Consider approving the purchase of a vehicle stabilization kit.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve the purchase of a Paratech airlift bag system from Apollo Fire Equipment in the amount of $17,500, utilizing funds budgeted in 2018 Fire Capital Machinery and Equipment account.
Support.
In June, the township solicited an invitation to bid for replacement highway vehicle stabilization kit to be used during rescue on oversized vehicles involved in crashes. The fire department's current stabilization kits work on a passenger-sized vehicle only and would not support an oversized vehicle such as a garbage truck or a cab of a semi-tractor. Stabilization kits protect the safety of the vehicle's passengers as well as firefighters during an emergency rescue. This piece of equipment will be stored on the department's heavy rescue unit that responds to all emergency rescue runs. One bid was received from Apollo Fire Equipment in the amount as stated. Are there any board questions for Director Meyer? Anne Marie, please.
Are there any what other communities around us have equipment like this, or are we the only ones that will?
There really are none. We'll be the first to have this size of stabilization kit. The Urban Search and Rescue Team that we're a regional partner with has some capabilities, but they're not necessarily designed for vehicles, more of a collapsed structure support or a trench rescue type scenario.
So if like there is a semi that needs this in a different city, would they call us to use ours? Is that how that might work?
Could be called through mutual aid, yes.
And how does that work with payments? I'm just wondering for process. Do we charge for something like that, or?
Not typically, no.
That would all fall under our mutual aid agreements that we have with all the surrounding communities. And there's oftentimes anything that happens at the park, larger events, we do an all-hands-on call. And whoever's got the first available equipment and vehicles come to Canton often, from Westland, Livonia, Plymouth Township, I think.
Northville Township.
Yeah,
Yep.
so and we keep track of who helps who, where, when. So we have those numbers and data available if you'd like to see it. And actually, the last 2 years, I think it's kind of gone a new direction where Canton has relied on our neighbors more often than we go out to support our neighbors, which is unusual. Yeah, yeah. Seeing no further questions, those in favor of the motion as presented, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That concludes the agenda items for this evening. I do see we had a couple of guests come in. Would there anybody like to make public comment? Would anybody like to make public? Now would be the time, ma'am, if you'd like to speak. Could you, if you would be so kind, come to the podium, and if you would, state your name and address, and share whatever you like with us. And then we do ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes, if you could.
My name is Geraldine Gorecki, and you all have these microphones, and none of you use it. It's so hard of hearing.
Oh.
What do you call? I don't understand it. You had, sirs, you had it. You put it just a little bit, and then you're talking to them. It's amazing that I heard you.
Yes. It's not booming as loud as it normally does. I think you're right. It's not as loud as it normally is. So, thank you for that comment. Okay, any additional, oh, yes, ma'am.
Did you talk about the taxes?
Yes, ma'am.
So we missed it. Could you tell me what you said
Just
in
basic.
short?
Yes, very, very briefly. We approved the taxes at the same level from the previous year, plus the additional 1.45 mils that the voters approved in the August millage for the roads millage. So the taxes did increase over last year by the incremental amount that that the voters approved in August. Mhm. All right. Seeing no additional public comment, is there any, Josh, you had some news you wanted to share with us regarding, I'm losing it right now, put me back on track if you can. We talked about in staff today.
Yeah, the Hurricane
Oh,
Florence.
yes, okay.
So, yeah, I can share with you at this point, we're monitoring Hurricane Florence and its potential strike in East Coast. As the board knows, Michigan has Michigan Task Force 1, which is a regional urban search and rescue type 3 team. The fire department, Canton Fire Department, has 3 members assigned to that team that could be deployable in the event that the task force is called up. We are in the early planning stages, and there is a possibility that could happen. As of today, I have 1 firefighter that would be deployed with the team if such a deployment occurs, and it's usually for about a 2-week period of time. So,
Additional staff comments? Board comments, questions, statements?
Good thing over there in the summit right now. We went over, it's really nice. We have a lot of community organizations that need volunteers, and I was really surprised there were some I hadn't even heard of before. So, yeah, if anyone wants to head over there tonight.
Yeah, if I may, I would just like to say that, this being the 17th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks, the fact that the township is putting on the Do Good event today, that did not get lost on me. I thought that was a fantastic way for us to take something that was a pretty powerful and tragic day that made an impact on everyone's lives, changed our lives forever, but for us to come together and say, how do we make a better community? and how do we impact our future, I think is a way for us to kind of own that. And I think that that's fantastic. And I want to applaud the township, the staff, supervisor's office, everybody who put that on. That was fantastic. So well done.
Yeah, they had a great flag. The fire trucks had the flag hanging over the door, so it's real nice.
One other small detail that everyone may or may not have noticed, but between Director Meyer, Foss, and John Anthony, we now, for the first time in many months, have our flags aligned properly in our meeting room. So a lot of good stuff happening in the community tonight. Seeing no additional board, is there any additional board comments, questions, statements? Okay. Seeing none, call for a motion to close.
Support.
Favor to close, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Be safe.